Whoa! Oh, this is actually pretty darn stable. Okay, so behind me is a grass field, and we're gonna ride this thing through the grass field. Even though these tires are more made for city riding, they should be able to do okay on grass fields. Let's try this thing out on the grass fields, see how it performs. Because after all, we are using AT tires. I'm going roughly 15 miles per hour, and it feels pretty good. Okay, but when you let go of the throttle, you do feel like a good amount of slowdown. But I think that's normal, you know, because you're on the grass, there's a lot of resistance. Okay, huge slope coming up. Let's see how well this one does. Oh man, zero problems. I barely have my hands on the throttle. So yeah, this is great. Oh, there's water over here. I don't want to go into water. Well, this board is IP55, 56 proof, so it's really, really well weather seat. Whoa! Yeah, this board can handle your basic amount of, off-road when it comes to grass, and a little bit of hill too. Let's try that hill of doom. A lot of skateboards and scooters cannot make up that hill. So let's give that one a try. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh, yes! Oh, made it. We made it over the hill. Definitely have enough torque for you to do some stupid stuff off-road. Right? It's not going to die on you immediately or anywhere even close to that. Oh, this is a big hill, but it's made it up here anyway in S Plus mode. Okay, I did get a warning after making up that hill. It says, so basically the remote is still in Chinese, but I can read Chinese. So basically it says the skateboard is overheated. It's mostly likely the ESC. When you go on the grass, it produces a lot of friction, it produces a lot of resistance, and that resistance equals more power needed, and more power equals more heat generation. So I was off grass for maybe a few minutes or so, and then it overheated a little bit. But then to be fair, this is not an off-road electric skateboard, so I'm just gonna carry this. Ooh, that's very hot. So yeah, it's definitely overheated by going on all these grassy hills and stuff like that. I mean, to be fair, this is the first time I'm actually testing like a 2-in-1 board, doing a lot of crazy off-road stuff. I think this is to be expected. And this is great because it shows that the sensors on the Elofty is actually working as intended, working correctly. That means you're being protected if your electric skateboard doesn't give you this type of protection, the overheat protection, right? You can keep riding until something fries in your board and the board just goes crazy and shoots out under you, or completely cuts off and slams on the brakes and you can fall off and break a shoulder. This is completely normal behavior. This just means the board is doing what it's intended to do to protect you from a potential cutoff while it's cooling down. Some boards have a taller threshold or a tolerance, but those boards are sacrificing the longevity of your electric skateboards. So far I'm still super impressed at what this board can do with city street tires doing off-road. Let's go sit down and talk about the wheels while this thing is cooling down. So just after maybe 3 minutes of cooling down, I can operate the board again. I'm gonna let it cool down for a little bit longer. This is when we can talk about the wheels and other specifications stuff. Give the board a break. All right, let's go. Okay, so let's talk about the wheels real quick. These wheels are super awesome, and for them to include something like this on a $1,000 board, it is absolutely fantastic. This is a hot swappable aluminum wheel, right? So it's super lightweight, super durable. Normally the hot swappable wheels would have a plate ring on the outside of the wheels, so you kind of just press it down, turn it, take it out. But for aesthetics purposes, it's a single block of aluminum on the outside. The actual place where you get to take apart the wheels is actually on the inside, on the back, so you don't get to see all the messiness on the outside. All right, so it's actually right here. You can see it's using like a small 5-star pattern. I think a lot of skateboards are using this pattern now, so these wheels are actually super interchangeable. And then you have these grooves, right? So as soon as you deflate these tires, you can then change the ring. You can remove the ring from the inside, from facing the inside the board. And then you can just do a hot swappable change of your tires without any tools necessary, which is pretty darn awesome. What surprised me the most here are these trucks, actually. These just look like your plain old trucks. Like, there's nothing fancy about them. They're not like aluminum CNC'd or anything like that. There's no anodization, no fancy color. These trucks, I guess there's nothing else I can say about these trucks for now. Other than they're just stable as hell at high speeds, and when you do want to turn, they turn extremely well. They are kind of boring looking, super boring looking, but I guess this is the result of, you know, being in business for 10 plus years. Yes, Elofty has been in business in China for more than 10 years, and they're just expanding outside of their domestic market. And a couple of things I want to mention. This awesome remote, the Orion Gold remote, only comes with the AT version. So you have to buy the Pro AT version in order to have this remote. If you buy the Pro without the AT, but if you get the street wheel version, you save like $300, but you don't get this remote. For me, I always like fancier remotes. I think they look good and feel good because this is the only part of the board where you actually physically touch most of the time. So I do like the remote to be as fancy as possible. So if you want to dish out $1,299 for an off-road version, which I think is super worth it too, because for extra $300, you do get these fully aluminum lightweight quick release hubs along with these AT tires. But if you decide to save that $300 and you just want the raw power and the carvability of the board, you're not losing any of the batteries, you're not losing any of the ESCs, you're not losing the motor. The entire drivetrain and the entire build of the skateboard is still the same, but you get to save $300. Say if you do have AT tires at home, you do have AT hubs at home, you could swap it. These look like the very standard 5-star system that Limb Power also uses, so you should be completely okay just to get other hubs or use your existing hubs to put on this board. And this board also goes up to 37 miles per hour. The ESC is 90 amps. It's a very, very powerful ESC. As you can see from the torque, when I'm going up and down the intense hills, it has zero problems, right? It's able to juice the board when you need that juice. The next thing are the motors. The motors are using 6374 motors. These are what I consider the industry norm for a $1,000 electric skateboard. They output a tremendous amount of power. I think for these motors, they can output a peak of 2100 watts per motor. And plus, if you count the 14S 3P Samsung 50S, they could output close to maybe 50 to 60 amps when it comes to the bus current. Still, I do feel this board has a lot of torque. This board, again, is geared towards, oh, doesn't this look familiar? Okay, so this board is geared towards top speed. If you want absolutely insane, monstrous torque, this board in its AT form actually doesn't provide that. But if you want a good amount of torque, but still go up to an insane close to 40 miles per hour in terms of top speed, drivetrain on this board delivers that and delivers it safely. And I just had my first heat cutout on an electric skateboard, which is this one. Normally don't test AT boards for a prolonged period of time in the grass on a hot summer day, cloudless hot summer day in Utah. It's close to like 95 degrees outside. I was riding for a while and then I had a heat, not necessarily cutout, but a heat warning. When the heat warning came on, the board slowed down a little bit and then it drastically slowed down more and then it wouldn't let me ride the board anymore. I had to let it rest for about 3 minutes, and then it let me ride again. I've had other boards that just directly cuts itself off when the heat goes up to a certain range. Those are extremely dangerous because you don't know what the temperatures are, and then when it cuts off, it's catastrophic for the rider. In this case, the board actually gives you a soft warning first without doing anything to the drivetrain, without slowing down, and then gradually come to a complete stop, which I think is a very great safety feature for everyone to have, especially on hot sunny days like this. Battery, actually in this really thin little thing, I was guessing the deck was holding maybe 500 watt hours of battery, but it's actually close to 800 watt hours. It actually has 777 watt hours of battery, or 15 amp hours. So the board comes with a 3 amp charger. Since the board has 15 amp hours of battery, board should take up to 5 hours to charge completely. In the description, it says the board would take up to 3.5 hours to charge. These 155mm wheels, or 6-inch wheels, feel incredibly soft. They look kind of hard, but they are incredibly grippy and very confidence-inducing when it comes to carving. And it can hold its own in the grass as well. Nothing too crazy. It does slip a little bit in the grass, but I think these grooves do help for you to get a little bit of grip in the grass area. On the street, it's incredibly comfortable. It still gives you that good torque without feeling every single bump on the road. For a carbon fiber board, a full carbon fiber board that has no flex, it carves insanely well and turns insanely well. They also sell Kegel adapters and street board adapters if you do get the AT version. I do have street wheels, so I'm going to do a separate review on the street wheels because you cannot get a 2-in-1 version with the Pro electric skateboard. You have to pick either the AT or you have to pick the street wheels, right? What I recommend is that you buy the AT version. You get these premium remotes and you get these aluminum hubs, and at the same time you just buy a little adapter for your gear drive system, and then you can swap on any Kegel street wheels that you want on here. It'll be much simpler this way rather than going the other way around, because you won't have the remote and you have to buy separate wheels and it's by separate tires. The cost would add up really quickly, so it's better to buy it this way, get it all absorbed in one package rather than doing it separately. So overall, when it comes to the Noah's Ark, I like it quite a bit as a carver and a high-speed cruiser. That's what this board is built for. It's not built for instantaneous torque, not because it doesn't have the drivetrain or the power to do so, but its gear drive is geared it towards a higher speed setup. If you can buy gear drives that has a higher gear ratio, you can definitely have a little bit more torque. But with the 90 amp ESCs, with the Samsung 50S batteries, 3P Samsung 50S batteries, and industry standard 6374 dual motors, this thing can pack a punch. But it packs a punch in the speed category rather than the torque category. This deck has no flex, but coupled with their actual trucks, they have no name for the trucks. It's just like a standard truck. It's just a standard truck, but these trucks carve so well. They're very, very stable even when I get up to 30 miles per hour. But when I was going up to 30 miles per hour, right before I hit 30, this thing was accelerating. It was still accelerating very hard. So I do think that with this current setup, you can hit 37 miles per hour, no problem. And you can hit that speed very, very easily as well. And when it comes to braking, the braking leans a little bit on the softer side, but it's still a pretty firm, predictable, linear type of braking. One thing I do have to say about these remotes, the ride quality. Let's talk about acceleration curve first. Acceleration, this board is pretty, it started out really, really soft. Even in S Plus mode, it starts out pretty darn soft. And then there's a really quick ramp up, even into the mid ranges. It accelerates really, really quickly. And then it plateaus a little bit towards 30 miles per hour, but still feels like it has a lot more room to go. When it comes to the remote, when you push the throttle and then you let go of the throttle and you re-engage it, this time around, it picks up where you left off and accelerates from there. So you don't have to push it too much. But I do feel like there's a good amount of dead space before that hits, right? So if you're accelerating and then you let go of the throttle and you accelerate again, there's a good amount of dead space in here that makes me go like, hey, where's the acceleration? And then it kicks in. And it doesn't kick in from the scale that you start off with 0. It starts off at a new scale at your current speed, and it accelerates you even more from there. Oh, and if you go really, really fast to like 30 miles per hour, when you disengage the throttle, I do feel it behaves a little bit like in Ling Yi ESC. When you let off the throttle, I feel like it actually pushes you forward a little bit first, and then it cuts off. The cutoff is abrupt enough for me to lose my balance a little bit, because I'm leaning so hard forwards to brace against that acceleration, and then it cuts off. Once it cuts off, I can't lean forward anymore, right? I gotta lean back. But that cutoff, I feel like it's a little bit more abrupt if you are so used to remotes like Hobbywing or the Jason ESCs, where it lets off very slowly at the tip top of the acceleration curve. The way that they let off the throttle is a little bit more aggressive. Other than those edge cases, I do feel like this is an absolutely a fantastic cruising board, carved board, high-speed cruising board. I'm enjoying this board very much. I'm gonna go home and then swap all of these wheels to the street wheels, to the rubber street wheels, because there's a whole separate version based off of that. So the part 2 of this video is gonna be me just reviewing the street wheels on these boards. All right guys, I'll see you on the next one.